Today we're going to talk about the right arm in the backswing, how it pertains to arm depth, height, how if you put it in the right place and everything's going right, how you should shallow it, how you shouldn't do it on the way down. It's just going to make it really easy for you to make sure your right arm isn't something that's causing you to swing over the top or causing you issues. So we're going to teach you just what it should look like, how simple it is. This is a concept that I never really thought about prior to this. I actually have been playing with it recently, and I was like, man, that's so simple. These people need to know how simple it is and where that right arm should be to make them play better. So if you're brand new to our channel, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell button, because then you'll see the future videos that we have posted. We usually post every Tuesday and Friday. And if you like our content, give us a thumbs up, and thanks for watching. Starting off, we're going to cover a fault that I see a lot of people make when they're trying to get a bigger turn, okay? And the bigger turn, if you've seen past videos, is really a rib cage motion versus an arm motion. And so that fault, to get their hands deeper, because we know if you get your hands deeper, you're gonna be able to shallow the club more consistently, okay? So it is a very big thing in the golf swing. There's some pros who have really high hands, but you're gonna notice they still shallow that club. And there's some of us who have really high hands and we do not shallow the club, okay? So one of the faults that I commonly come across is people push their arm across their body, okay? So the arm basically goes across next to the chest, all right? This is a little harder for me because my flexibility isn't great, so it actually works well for me that I don't have that issue, all right? But a lot of us, especially juniors and some of those who are just more flexible, all right, they really push their arm across their chest, all right, and they get their hands into a deep position, all right? But you can see that I haven't turned my shoulders a whole lot, so I'm not going to create a whole lot of power because my arms can only move so much. And what tends to happen with these people when they get their arms pinned across their chest is they tend to move everything down together. So everything is pretty much stuck, and they tend to release it early, and they don't create a whole lot of power. Okay, so how can the right arm help us? The first thing you need to understand is basically your left arm should probably go that much across our chest. All right, some people can feel that and they're really good at it. I've found that a lot of people lately are way better when they feel what their right arm should do. So right arm, very simple. This is one of the simplest things that you can do, is the right arm basically should go this much across your body. Okay, so when you take it into the backswing, all right, you can see where it is. Some of you might feel like it's really low. Some of you get it way up here, super high. All right, but basically it is just parallel with the ground, your arm, and it goes across your body a little bit. Bend into your golf posture, turn to the top, and you can see where it is. So my forearm matches my spine angle, and we're perfect. All right, that's what we look for. So put the club in the hand, and you can see how simple it is there. Okay, so the club didn't go across my body because my right arm is not letting it do that. Okay, and so now I have some space and I have some room, which we like to see. All right, and my arm basically moved in a little bit. And then the depth that we get in the golf swing comes from the actual turn from your body. Okay, now if you can't turn too well, if you're a little limited in that, then we're gonna let you have a little bit more across your body, okay? But if you really want to make it simple, all right, it goes almost center line, and we take it to the top, all right, and that should be a nut depth. We don't want to keep it out here, so it's in front of the hands. You're never going to shallow it from there, all right? And if you get a little bit further back because you're kind of limited in your flexibility, you can do that also, all right? But that's what the right arm should be doing in the backswing, going across. We're just asking for a little rotation that way, okay? It's not a whole lot. Most people should be able to have at least a little bit there, but if you're able to turn and get it to the top, you should be in really good shape. It makes it super simple. That's how we get it to the top. Now, what are some of the issues that people do with the right arm that cause them to slice the ball? All right, so all our slicers out there, they might do this perfectly. They might get their arm into the right position, all right, but then we have basically the arm wrestle move, right, or over the top, because their right arm forces them down. okay? The other thing that people tend to do is if this elbow gets too out here, all right, some people call it flying elbow, maybe a chicken wing, all right, it tends to do that also. So it tends to throw it over the top. So that's why that right arm and the position that it's in is very crucial, all right? So if you do start getting it out there, you're gonna slam it down to the ground, you're gonna be steep, you're gonna hit toe shots, you're gonna hit big fat divots, and of course you're gonna hit that big slice, okay? So stay away from the elbow flying out, just make it really simple to the top. All right, now we're gonna cover kind of the downswing motions of that right arm when it's in the right position. So we're gonna assume that you can move this across your body and you're gonna have a little bit of rotation. Right? So when you get it to the top, your downswing move is gonna feel like elbow drops closer to your side, all right? And then your right arm starts to release a little bit, okay? So to the top, good position. Right arm drops, hands start to release. Right, you can see I still have plenty of forward shaft lean, lag, right into the ball, okay? And that is how you can easily shallow the golf club, all right? People who tend to come down steep or really fight stuff is they're gonna get it to the top, and on the way down, that right elbow, it doesn't drop. It stays really high, and so the club starts to steepen on you. So the simplest move that you can do to get rid of that is you have to feel like that right arm drops and gets closer to your side. Now we're not going to talk about that type of motion, it just drops. Okay, closer to your side, right arm release, boom, really good striking position. Good turn to the top, right arm down, starts to release. And so when you're swinging shallow, you should feel like the club's kind of far behind you, especially in slow motion, because when you speed it up, your shoulders start to rotate faster, and so it's not as stuck behind you as you might think it would be. Now, when the right arm is dropping and releasing, a common mistake that we make or that we see is that the body goes into a super tilt, the right arm gets close, and then we're going to stand up and flip. So you need to make sure that your shoulders feel like they stay kind of level as that right arm drops to your side and your right arm starts to release. Now, some people might feel like it's all right arm into it. I'm not that way. Everybody feels something different. So I feel the right arm drop, right arm release, but then it's all left side pulling through for me. I was always taught growing up that left side is the downswing, but you just have to make sure that you release the right side correctly. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed that video today. It's very simple. We just talked about where the right arm is, how it rotates, that doesn't get deep behind your body, because that can lead to the over the top motion, and then how our arms drop and release to help us shallow the golf club.